So last night, my wife was sitting right here on the couch. I was sitting there on the dining table in the kitchen. And I asked her this question: what makes a good husband? And being on this journey as a husband for the last 3 years, I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've transformed in my masculinity. And a lot of my buddies who've known me for so many years, they're still shocked that I settled down, that I became a husband, that I became dedicated to one woman. And so this question right here, how to be a good husband, what lessons have I learned over the last 3 years? And now that I'm going to be a father soon, I thought it would be a great opportunity to tell you guys every lesson that I've learned, and to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that I've made. I see a lot of my clients, I see a lot of my students, a lot of men out there making these mistakes over and over in their married life. Even when they're single, they make these mistakes. So I want to make sure you avoid them. So let's get into it. How to be a good husband. Let's start off by number one, and that is listening plus presence. I remember many, many years ago, I read this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, right? And he said this quote: seek to understand before being understood. And this is something that I've worked on in my life, right? Having the presence to look deep into someone's eyes, make that eye contact, and really give them all you have. And be in a presence where nothing else exists but that person. And that person should believe that you are fully listening to them. And one thing you can do to test yourself, to ensure that you are listening, is when they are done, right? You give them time. And if they pause, you don't interrupt and start asking a question, or you start doing something to solve it or to help. No, you embrace the silence. And you give them a chance to speak again and continue speaking after that silence, especially if they're introverted. So this is some big thing that I've learned. And don't let your mind wander, right? When there was a science paper in 2006, I remember, where they showed that people's minds, if they are focused on a task, then they are happy. But if you let your mind wander into some random thoughts, it's usually going to be negative, and it's going to take you away from the present moment, from listening to your wife or your girlfriend. And so be there fully with her, okay? And right here, you have to love learning about your woman. There's going to be so many things that she's going to teach you about yourself. One thing that I've learned from my wife is how to love, how to be loving, and how to accept love from her and from other people, right? To accept that. Right? Mind wandering, make sure you don't do that. Seek to understand before being understood. And this is a big one right here. Thou shalt not solve problems. Sometimes what happens is, in masculine energy, we tend to always try to fix things, right? That's what we do as men. However, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life is, when your wife, your woman is talking to you and you're listening to her, just focus on the listening, not on the response or the fixing or the solving of the problem. Just listen and say, I love you. I hear you. You are loved. You are being listened to. That's very, very important. And I've learned this the hard way many times, because I always like to solve problems. Being an engineer, being a scientist, I'm always about fixing and solving. So women don't really give a shit about that. They want you to listen to them. And you can always reiterate or recapitulate what has been said as an analogy or in your own way to give her the confirmation that you are indeed listening. And she's going to know. If you're listening to someone, if you're present with someone, they know that you're listening on a subconscious level at least. Okay, let's get into number 2. Openness. Right? And by openness, I mean you have to have an open mind. If you get hurt, she said something, there's many things that my wife has told me that offended me, that I was hurt by. I tell her. And I don't wait for days or weeks and let it pent inside and become this monster. I say it right away. And I say it in a loving way. I say it in a funny way, in a fun way, in a happy way. And then I move on. Then we both move on. And sometimes there is a conflict that could happen when you are open and when you are willing to tell the truth. But that conflict is worth, because your relationship will become stronger, and she will know deep down that you are willing to say the hard things. Okay, so be open, be open-minded, be okay to change your mind. There are many masculine energies that I used to adapt. Being the warrior and always go, 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 always working, always doing something, not taking a break, not taking rest and relaxation. And I've changed my mind on that. I believe it's very important to spend time being intimate, being in love, going into nature. I've learned that in my life. So be able to change your mind and admit that you're wrong. Respect the woman, right? It's not just, oh, she's just a woman, she's just a girl, she won't get you. That's bullshit. She will get you, especially if you have a bond and you have that chemistry. And even if she doesn't get you in the beginning, she will eventually understand as you communicate with her openly. Okay, so that's my second tip on how to be a good husband. Let's move on. Number 3, admit you're wrong. Okay? Honest communication, or even if you lied, and express your opinion. So for me, when we first started dating back in 2021, I was a dick to her, and I would play games, I would hurt her, I would insult her, and I would make her feel bad, right? There would be a lot of emotional these negative energies that I was protruding on my girlfriend at that time, now my wife. And I admitted that this was a mistake, that I was wrong. And I've told her many, many times over the last 4.5, 5 years that I made those mistakes. And I tell other people too. I mean, I'm telling you right now that I've made these mistakes. And there were moments in life where I even sometimes if I lie in like a playful way, I tell her that, hey, I'm just kidding. I'm just, I lied to you. And I do it very quickly. I don't let the lie, again, become a monster, because it will. So be able to make a mistake, admit you're wrong, and it's okay, right? You don't have to be this like perfect person. You can have flaws. Just like she has flaws, you have flaws, and it's okay. All right? Number 4, be vulnerable and be emotional. I'm drawing this crying eye here, right? Be proud, right? Be proud to cry. There was a moment in my life where I didn't cry for 20 years or something, 25 years. And now, when my wife and I, when we're watching movies, when we're watching Netflix or YouTube videos, whatever we're watching, we feel some emotion, we both cry, right? And I feel so proud when I cry. Like all of a sudden, watching like a Bollywood movie or some emotional scene happens and tears start coming out. I look at her, I'm like, look, and I have her feel my tears, right? I'm so proud to express that as a man, I am able to cry. So that's also quite important. And also let her cry. You know, I've seen my clients, even lots of my family members who are husbands, whenever their wife cries, or even their daughter cries, their sister cries, they always say, hey, don't cry, don't cry. And I think that's a mistake. I think when a woman cries, you have to encourage and almost say, go ahead and cry more. Go ahead, express yourself fully. Go ahead and cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to express your emotions. And not only with my wife, I do that with my mom as well, right? It's all good to cry. It's a great, great thing. I think it's one of the best emotions out there, right? The ability to cry. And don't give into these archetypes, right? Oh, you're a warrior. You should never cry. You should be the defender of the family, so you have to like always be tough. You should always be macho. I think that's a big mistake. So don't do that. But of course, have a balance, right? Have a balance. I'm not saying you're like a weakling, scrawny dude who's like all the time crying every moment. No. You have to be tough. You have to be a warrior, right? You have to be a king of your family. You have to have those archetypes, right? Magician, lover. But at the same time, don't pathologize that, right? Don't go into too much darkness with that masculinity. Also embrace your feminine, okay? So have that balance. Number 5, never shame her. This is a big one, man. This is one of my biggest lessons in life. There are going to be moments where your wife will express herself or be willing to go out of her comfort zone, you know, be it when you're intimate with her, when she's expressing herself, her opinions of other people, of other family members or friends. There should never be a moment where she feels shame, that she can't say something to you, or she's afraid to say something to you because you are shaming her. Because women are shamed in society all the time, even by their own family members. And that is what closes women. And it allows them to kind of like shrink and go into their shell. So I feel that if you let her express and then you embrace that emotional expression, then she will never have shame and she will be fully open with you. And this is a huge, huge strength in a relationship. Okay, let her be free. This is very, very important. Let her be free. And I drew this yin yang here because you want that balance of masculine, feminine between you and your wife. And of course, let her be a little girl, right? All women, they want to be little girls. They want to be taken care of. I know there's this feminist movement and there's lots of women out there, I mean, who like pretend to, that they like this masculine traits and they like to be, like have this masculine energy and rah-rah. I don't believe that. I think there's a very tiny percentage of women who are like that, like Hillary Clinton and, these types of women who are sort of like very masculine. And maybe that's not even a genetic thing. Maybe they became like that because they're their men were feminine, or their men were a bit too pussy, right? So you have to be tough. You have to be the man of the family. You have to be the provider of the family. But let her be the little girl, okay? And allow her that playground, that garden to play in inside your life, okay? So let her be free. Let's move on. Teamwork, right? Never separate. This is something that I'll talk first about money, right? See, in my culture, in the Pakistani Indian culture, mostly, and I learned this from my own parents, we don't really separate our finances, right? So when I was about to get married, a couple of my team members from our company, they mentioned prenuptial. She's like, hey, make sure you get prenuptial. And I'm like, guys, you're not married. You don't even have girlfriends. Who are you to tell me anything, right? And very, very early on, and I learned this from Jordan Peterson actually, that you have to fully be committed to the woman, right? So my money is her money. Her money is my money, right? My resources, my property, right? My real estate, my bank balance, all my accounts are her accounts, right? So she has all the information. She has all the passwords, right? She's like, I trust her fully, 100%, right? There's no boundaries. There's no separation. There's no delineation, right? So that's quite important. Never separate you from her. And I think some European cultures, American cultures, and other cultures, they have this separation, right? The wife has her own bank account, the husband has her own bank account, maybe another bank account is like joint, but they kind of separate their salaries, they separate everything. I don't think that's a good idea. I think if you have to be fully committed to the woman. And we see, people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and others, and who've gotten divorced, Elon Musk, and we say, oh, if he did a prenuptial, he might have not lost, $50 billion. Regardless of that, I think you have to fully be 100% all in. If you want the marriage to last, if you want the marriage to, because the woman will know, right? That you're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You don't want that. You want it to be a team. You're working together to raise a family, to raise kids, to make life decisions, right? And she's going to respect you for that. So yeah, fully teamwork. Trust above all, right? And let me actually, I'll show you how to spot an atheist soon, but trust above all, right? Having that faith. And I'll tell you a little bit about faith here, right? There's going to be so many ups and downs in life. There's going to be so much uncertainty, so many things you cannot predict. Regardless, so many mistakes you're going to make, so many dumb things you're going to do. At the end of the day, I believe faith will win, right? And it's faith in God, in the universe, in the unknown, right? Faith in, make sure this is recording, faith in what you don't know. Faith in what you will never know, right? Faith in complexity, like faith in the spirit, in that feeling you have in your heart, right? So have that faith, and then what does trust mean, right? Don't project. Lots of guys, they come into relationships, they've been cheated on, or they've cheated themselves. And I'll tell you honestly, in every relationship I've ever had, and I've been lucky here, I've never been cheated on, and I've never cheated. So it's a karma thing too, right? It's what goes around comes around. Don't project like, oh, I came from this relationship, so my current wife or my current girlfriend is going to be this way. Yeah, let go of all that. Don't look for problems. A lot of guys, they are always looking to see, oh, what can I find? What flaw can I find in her? So now I can leave her, or she's not the one, or she's not my soulmate, right? They're looking for the negative in every situation. Don't do that. Always look for positive, right? assume that the relationship is perfect, that whatever happens, whatever flaw there is, whatever mistakes have been made, whatever difficulties happen, whatever conflicts happen, fully assume and feel that this is the perfect relationship, that you two are indeed soulmates. And one additional tip I'll give you is, this is about letting the girl be, letting your wife be a little girl. And that is, there's this animus that women have, right? The masculine energy in them. And that may come out, right? And that spirit, right, that'll come out in a very sometimes harsh way, which will almost scare you, right? You'll be like, fuck, what the hell is this bitch doing? Like, is she fucking nuts, right? Is she gone like snapped? Has she become the devil? She's like, what, she has horns right here on her head, right? Like, what the fuck is going on? That will happen sometimes. And as a man, you have to be able to take that animus and tell her, I love you. You are loved. I hear you. I'm always going to be here. I'm always with you. I'm not leaving, right? I'm right here in your eyes, right? In your heart. So that embracing of the woman, despite those negative emotions, especially if the girl has very high neuroticism, right? You have to be the chill one. You have to be the calm one and embrace and accept all of that dark side, that devil inside. Okay? So you have to be that bigger person. And how about a bonus I'll give you? How to spot an atheist. And I see this all the time. People pretending that they believe in God, that they have faith, but then they are extreme OCD, right? They're like gonna cross every T and dot every I. My friend, if you're doing that, you don't have faith. You're an atheist, right? A lot of people are pretending to have faith in God, but they don't. They're bullshitters. They're virtue signaling, right? And the way you spot that is the person, he's going to be anal about everything. He's going to want to make sure every little thing. And if you spot someone doing that, if you spot yourself doing that, I'm sorry to tell you, you are an atheist. You're pretending to believe in God. If you truly believe in God, then you will have faith in yourself, encourage your wife, and do your best every single day in life. And you will get the transformation. I mean, look at me, man. I come from the energy of being a player, right? Being a playboy, living in Vegas and dating a bunch of women and insulting them and manipulating them. And I come from this energy, being a gambling degenerate after being a neuroscientist, right? Like, so I come from this, pickup artist type world. And so me embracing being a husband and being a one-woman man, it was very, very important for me to have faith that everything is going to be okay. And thank God that it's worked out. Number 8, make her feel safe. This is maybe my favorite one. I think it's my favorite one. So in my opinion, when a girl feels safe, she will be able to have orgasms. She will be able to be fully herself, right? And that safety, once she feels that safety, right? Especially if you are providing for her fully, right? Financially, emotionally, the resources, the heart, right? That safety, that protection that a girl feels, she'll melt in your arms, man. She'll look at you and she'll make you feel like the king you are. And so make her feel safe. And one thing that I did with my wife is I retired her many years ago, right? There were moments in life where she wanted to, she wanted to work, she had many hobbies, she has many interests, she loves many things, she's very curious, very intellectual, right? She's an animal doctor, right? A veterinarian, so she's like very much into this intellectual world, which is I appreciate very, very much because we connect intellectually. However, at the end of the day, when I retired her, I said, hey, you don't have to work anymore. I got it, man. I retired my parents. I retired my wife. That feeling of safety that, my man has me, like he got me. He got it covered. And reiterating that every day through action, not just through words, but through action and through doing, she's going to feel so safe that she's going to be able to be the little girl. She's going to be able to be the loving wife and take care of you in every way. Okay, so this is, and of course, once you make her feel safe, the transformation that you will see in your own body, right, in your performance inside the bedroom, the ability to be confident, the performance anxiety is going away because you're the man, right? You've got nothing to lose, and you are fully yourself, right? And that's safe, and it's so, when you make a girl feel safe, like, man, I do internal prostate massages, and I have this device that I strengthen my prostate through, so I have a healthy prostate my whole life. Like, I share these things with her, right? I'm very honest with her. And, if I'm doing my internal prostate massage and she wants to come inside the bedroom, she can, right? It's like a very open relationship. There's, it's as open as you can imagine, right? We're fully with each other. We're embracing everything there is about each other and encouraging each other. So the provider, and so it's about money. I told you about the retiring, the wife, right? Acknowledge biology though, right? Acknowledge biology. Like I'll give you an example. I know guys who have pregnant wives, right? With 4, 5, 6 months pregnant, who expect the wife to carry half the load. No pun intended, but like carry half the load of the finances of the house. Like they expect their wife to work while she's like carrying the child, your child. And so I was very lucky because me retiring my wife years ago, and now that she's pregnant, we're gonna have our kid any day now, our daughter. The fact that she's able to fully be with my daughter, with our daughter, and embrace motherhood. I mean, what else is there? Right? What else is important? I don't know if anything is more important than that, right? And you have to be the father, man. Start being a father now. When you marry a girl or you have a girlfriend, if you can't see yourself as the father, then you leave her. Find someone else, right? Don't play too much in your life. I mean, I'm 44 and I'm gonna have my first child, right? It's kind of late. What can I say? I'm late. It's gonna be a great adventure. It's gonna be a great experience, but this is something, it's gonna be interesting. And one thing I will tell you that and I've heard this from a lot of women, the reason lots of women don't want to have kids or they don't want to get married, it's because the guy doesn't make them feel safe. The guy's not providing. But once a girl feels safe and she feels that you are the protector of her family, she's gonna have orgasms, she's gonna be a little girl, she's gonna be able to want a child, want to marry you, want to have many children with you, right? That spark inside her heart of having a child will come alive if you get your shit together, okay? And again, the yin and yang, there has to be that balance between the masculine and feminine, okay? Let's move on. There's 2 more left. 9 and 10, okay? Okay, encourage her, right? I see a lot of toxic relationships. Lots of my clients, my students, my customers, they've told me through email, and I've seen it in my one-on-one coaching sessions. They always find the problems in the girl, right? Oh, why are you this way? Why do you have this flaw? You have to improve. You have to become. No, no, no. You got to only encourage. I'm telling you, man. Yes, you can point out and you can have constructive criticism if you know how to do that. You have to do it correctly and in an encouraging, loving way, right? Because it's a girl, right? Don't treat her like a boy, okay? And learn to love her flaws, right? Like OCD and ADHD, like these lots of women nowadays, especially, they have these, you see this happening, right? Lots of people out there, ADHD or especially OCD, right? They're like I told you, that crossing T's and dotting I's. For me, I've always been a very chill person, right? I don't really get into these doomsday scenarios and Armageddon. And I'm a very chill guy. And so whenever I detect OCD in someone, I see this as a gift, right? So I tell my wife all the time, I'm saying, she's this European mindset, right? This maybe it's like some Eastern European thing where you want to be very careful and you want to be extremely diligent and due diligence very, very anally. And I always look at that as a strength. I always tell her, I say, you're going to save our family. There's going to be a moment where all of us are going to be chill, we're going to be relaxed, and you're going to be like paranoid, and you're going to save us one day. So I fully embrace this, right? I'm very, very in love with that now, in love with that flaw, right? And be curious, right? Be curious about her. Whenever she tells you about her history, about her family, about her friends, about her relatives, about her previous, even her previous relationships, if she wants to say that. Be curious and learn and listen and be willing to take it all in and enjoy that process. All right? And, oh yeah, I'll give you the bonus soon. But number 10 is that she's your friend, okay? She's your friend first. And being and your lover, right? I don't know if one is more important than the other, but friend, lover, lover, friend, okay? Not love her friend, lover, friend. Spirit, soul, not body. She's a embodiment of a soul. You have to see it in a spiritual way. Man, I'm telling you, the world without faith and spirit and spirituality is so boring. Like, what is this world? You look at Instagram or you look at YouTube, you see all of these problems. Shit is going on in the news and the government, and some political stuff is happening, war, right? There's this AI stuff with like technology and like this gossip about that guy, this guy. It's so boring. Like, this stuff has been happening for, I don't know, millennia. But the spirit world, the spiritual world, the out there unknown world, that's what's fun, man. So take risks, right? Go for it. Like, take a chance, man. Take a chance, right? Assume she'll get it. Don't be like, don't create that separation. Don't be like, oh, she's not a guy. Only a guy will get this. Of course, there are certain things that a guy will get better than a girl, but assume she'll get it, right? Give her that benefit of the doubt. And I remember I had one student back in the day, one-on-one client. He had a girlfriend for, I think like 12 years, same girlfriend, no marriage or anything, older guy, even older than me. And he told me that the friendship with the girl is not enough. So he would like go on these like male retreats, and he would like go spend 7 days with his buddies and his motorcycle and away from the girl. And I'm like, this is not good for the relationship. And of course they've broken up and gotten back together, broken up, gotten back together. I'm like, you can't do that, man. Like, me personally, I'm sort of like my dad. I'm a loner. I'm a lone wolf. And I tell my wife sometimes, I sometimes have a hard time sharing my pain with her, even though I do, because I've always been a lone wolf, right? I've been traveling the world alone before I met my wife. And I don't really need friends, right? I run a company, I have an amazing academy, I have a platform, lots of guys, message me and comment and email and all of that. So I have this amazing community in my brain. I have the tribe. So like physically, I don't really like require guy friends. Maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe my brain is wired that way. I'm not sure, but it's really interesting. Like, don't make the girl feel that she's not enough, that you have to like go spend time with your boys. I mean, maybe other people are wired that way, but I'm just telling you, if you want to go do that, make sure you have a conversation with her and tell her what's going on, right? In a very truthful way, and hopefully she'll understand. Don't create separation. She is a human. Sex and physical attraction is very important. Okay, it's very important for you to be sexually attracted to the girl that you're going to marry, or to maintain a happy relationship, right? So health, fitness, work out together, eat together, cook together, go grocery shopping together, right? Go walk together, stretch together, yoga together, right? Dance together, do things together as a couple, and that sexual energy, that attraction will come alive all the time, till you're 100 years old, inshallah. And plus personality, right? Like the physical attraction is super important. And I used to be the type of person who thought it's all physical, nothing else matters. But I was wrong, right? Kindness, playfulness, gentleness, the little girl vibes, her melting in your arms, her looking at you a certain way, her touching you a certain way, feeling you a certain way, the way she makes your heart feel. That personality is so important, right? So make sure you have both, okay? And now the bonus. Self-love, right? Self-love. It's very hard, I believe, to fall in love with someone, to adore someone, to be in a relationship with someone, unless you love yourself first. And of course, you can get to love yourself more and more in a relationship, and you reach deeper and deeper aspects of love in your relationship. And through those deeper aspects, you will love yourself more as well. But there has to be this minimum threshold of you having respect for yourself, having confidence in yourself, in your masculinity, in your physical performance, in your looks, your body, your resources, right? How much money you're making, your income. There has to be this, being able to forgive your parents, being able to forgive your past. There has to be this inner game that has to reach a threshold before you can love someone else. All right, that's the video I have for you today. Thank you again for listening. I would love to know if I missed something, right? These are the top 10 and a bonus, so 11 tips that I have on how to be a good husband. So if I missed something, please comment below, let me know. And I would love for you to like this video, give a thumbs up so that the algorithm can get it, can spread it to other people all over the world. I would love that as well. Please share it with your buddies, single people, married people, even divorced guys who want to now have a successful marriage later on, and even young people who don't want to get married and just want to let you know that marriage is a very beautiful thing. Me getting married was the best decision I ever made. And inshallah, becoming a father soon will be the biggest decision or the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And before I get into that fatherhood mode, I wanted to make this video to give all the lessons about how to be a good husband. So please take the tips that help you. If you don't agree, then it's okay. Throw it away. Don't listen. But what's most important is to try and think and just test and see what works, what doesn't work, and then learn from practice, not from theory. Whatever I told you today is my own experience, my own firsthand experience. It's not something I read. You notice I didn't do any neuroscience jargon or any like scientific stuff, any brain stuff, because this is my heart, right? This is what I learned. This is just a fact for my life, okay? So again, if you have any questions, comment below. If you would like me to make some other videos that might help you, please comment below and I would love to do that. All right? Take it easy, man. I'll see you in the next video.